Okay, this is problem number 6 on the study guide, and it is y equals 3 tangent x plus pi over 2. Your amplitude in this case, because it is tangent, is none. Your period equation is pi over b, and so it'd be pi over 1, so it'd be pi. Your phase shift, you set the parentheses equal to 0, so you'd have x plus pi over 2 equals 0, and it would end up being pi over 2 to the left. You have, again, no vertical translation. So, and then for your t-chart, to find your first point, you set the parentheses equal to negative pi over 2, and x would come out being negative pi, so negative pi is your first x value. To find your last point, you set the parentheses equal to pi over 2, and x would come out being 0. Because tangent can only exist between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. To find your middle point, you add negative pi and 0 together, and you divide by 2. And to find this one, you add negative pi and negative pi over 2 and divide by 2. And to find this one, you add negative pi over 2 and 0 and divide by 2. And then here you multiply by 3, because 3 is before tangent. And you multiply it by your tangent pattern, which is negative 1, 0, and 1. And you'd end up getting negative 3, 0, and 3. And your first and last point are asymptotes, so you would not graph that. And here's the graph. At negative pi, you have an asymptote. At negative 3/4 pi, you're at negative 3. At negative pi over 2, you're at 0. And at negative pi over 4, you're at 3. So your graph would end up looking like this. And here's an asymptote. And then, side notes for tangent. There is no amplitude. Again, the pattern is negative 1, 0, and 1. The period equation is pi over b. Asymptotes are at the first and last x values. To find your first point, set your parentheses equal to negative pi over 2. To find your last point, you set your parentheses equal to pi over 2, because tangent can only exist between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2.